you're reading from the text, Domitila Barrios de Chungara's testimonial, but then also the music and what the lyrics perhaps were involved.
Hice una relación entre lo que leí, que es el testimonio de Domitila, con la música que se llama El terremoto de Sipe Sipe, que tal vez es un poco recurrente en mi trabajo, pero es la música en la que iban los combatientes bolivianos a la guerra del Chaco. Y perdimos esa guerra, ¿no? O sea, tiene un sentido así como, yo digo jubiloso, pero casualmente esa música acompaña todos los momentos históricos fuertes que todavía vive Bolivia. Incluso es usado en los entierros de los excombatientes o de figuras sindicales como Domitila Chungara. Entonces es una música vigente que es como muy afecta mucho a los bolivianos.
So in my use of music, first I make a relation with what I was reading, which is the testimony of Domitila. And that particular soundtrack was the music, it's called the Terremoto de Sipe Sipe, which was the music the Bolivian soldiers listened to or represent when they went to the Shack War, on their way to the Shack War. And they lost this particular war, I would say, yeah, graciously. But it's still a very powerful, strong music or soundtrack in Bolivia, which still affects the people of Bolivia. So even at funerals, it's played. At Domitila's funeral, it might have been played in other government ministers and syndicates.
If I can just expand on the actual text itself, is si me permiten hablar, translates as "if you would let me speak," and it's effectively the testimonial of Domitila Barrios de Chungara, who is one of a community, it's a tin mining community in Bolivia in the 70s, which is effectively being exploited. And so she dictates her story, her testimony to a transcriber, Wema Viesar, who transcribes, publishes the testimony as a text, and so it's disseminated internationally. And this and a number of other women's texts, particularly in the 70s and 80s from Latin America. There's another, Rigoberta Menchú from Guatemala, Elvia Alvarado from Honduras, and so they speak out effectively and give their testimonies. These are transcribed and ultimately disseminated, and their stories heard. So this is the primary text that Aruma has been working from today.
Just a point. Domitila Chungara also in 1977, of course, started a hunger strike. My housewife supplies again that opened up a whole process that led to democracy. So her role was very important at that, 1976, but also 1977 and subsequent. The other point is the bolero de caballería. It's a Celtic bolero, it's a lament. But that's just an exaggeration.
Thank you. So, should I repeat? That effectively, just for the benefit of those that perhaps can't hear, that the following year, after this text was published in 1977, Domitila effectively went on hunger strike, which was a very contributing factor to Bolivia ceding to democracy ultimately. And then the second point is that the music we heard is a lament, in fact. No? Un bolero de caballería. Thank you. Any other questions or comments? So we'll leave it at that, and thank you kindly, Aruma, for both your performance today and your words, which I think we've greatly enjoyed and appreciated. And of course you'll be around, so if those of you who may want to speak more to Aruma, that's a possibility, you know? And thank you for your attention. It's like that.
Thank you. Sorry, I'm weaving around you here. Thank you all for your contributions. Thank you also to the technicians. We always forget the people in the background doing the techie stuff. So Sebastian is our intern with the